This video shows the primary part of a mission trip to Africa that Fiona and I went on in the summer of 2023. We were part of a group of 70 volunteers from around the United States who took this trip through an organization called Maranatha. They're an international nonprofit organization who digs water wells and builds schools and churches for people in need around the world. This particular mission trip was to the African country of Kenya in a small town called Kajiado. There is a boarding school where we went to build a large kitchen and dining room for students and staff. The real story behind this boarding school is that it's a rescue center where young girls of a tribe called Maasai go to escape their cultural tradition of childhood arranged marriages and female genital mutilation. The Maasai are a primitive people residing in rural areas and living off the land raising cattle. And cattle are what a groom pays a bride's parents as dowry in exchange for marriage to their childhood daughter. Although childhood marriage and female genital mutilation are illegal in Kenya, it's very hard to enforce among the Maasai people because they live in such remote areas. Many of the Maasai girls don't want that way of life for themselves, but their parents strongly oppose that decision because they very much want the cattle paid to them by the groom. So the girls run away to the Kajiado boarding school and rescue center. Here's what the place looked like when we arrived. It was actually started 20 years earlier, but Maranatha got involved only 6 years prior to this trip when they committed to replacing all of the old dilapidated buildings that were in use at the time. The kitchen and dining room that we went to build was the 24th and final building for this project. This is school and home to 300 children, most of which are Maasai girls who have run away from their families and tribe to avoid the unacceptable traditions they would otherwise have to endure. They basically become orphans because they've shamed their parents and prevented them from receiving the life-sustaining dowry of cattle in exchange for their daughter in marriage. So the parents disown them. Sometimes the girls run away after the marriage, and her parents have to return the cattle to the groom's family. In those cases, the girl lives in fear of harmful retribution from her father. For this reason, there's an 8-foot protection wall built around the school. On the first day we arrived at the rescue center, the kids welcomed us at the gate and led us to the building we'd be working on, where we were treated to some music, dance, and a chance to meet some of the girls. These two were happily reunited from a previous mission trip here. You see that little girl that just ran up and grabbed Fiona's hand? That was their first meeting. She later told us Fiona just looked like a nice person that she wanted to meet. Her name is Jacqueline and she's 10 years old. She's one of 3 girls that became our best friends. The next day it was time to get to work. But first, take a look at the kitchen we're replacing. That's it. A big pot over a wood-burning fire on the ground, and no dining room. They fill their plates at the kitchen and go sit on their beds or a classroom desk or on the ground to eat. Day 1 on the job and we're about to get started. The way these building projects work is Maranatha has a small crew that frame up the building and then volunteers come to lay block for the walls. This is Virginia, and she's 13 years old. She's a little shy and quiet, but she loved to hold my hand. Virginia is another one of the three girls that became Fiona's and my best friends. This is Veronica, and she's 15 years old. Keep in mind that, like most of the girls here, she's basically an orphan, having made a very hard decision to run away from her family and tribe to escape an unwanted marriage and female genital mutilation. And for that, her parents disowned her and she can't go back. Veronica became Fiona's and my favorite and very special friend, and you'll understand why after I read this letter she wrote to Fiona. From Veronica to my lovely mom, Fiona. I am very glad to have you as my friend, but you're no longer a friend to me, but a mom. Thank you for your smile. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your earrings. Thank you for accepting me as your friend, Mom. I recognize your presence and your husband. Before you arrived to Kenya, I was praying for God to give me someone which I can call Mom, and for sure, God answered my prayer. All the volunteer groups that have come before you, I have never gotten a friend or a mom. But all in all, I thank God because He knows my life, even though my poor self-concept limits my capacity to love and accept others. Psalms 138:3. The day when I cried out, you answered me and made me bold with strength in my soul. For sure, God answered my prayer through you, Mom Fiona. I pray that through your stay in Kenya, may God give you good health. May He show you thy favor. May He show you thy goodness. I love you, Mom, but God loves you most. The older woman here is Jacqueline's mother. She supports Jacqueline living at the rescue center, which is an unusual case. In fact, she actually brought Jacqueline here herself and visits regularly. So Jacqueline is fortunate to still have a relationship with at least one of her parents. There are a small number of boys that are allowed to attend this school for the purpose of helping the girls come to know that they don't have to fear all men. These guys are Gerard, Elijah, Benson, and Joe Biden. Yep, that's his real name. Back at the block laying site, as the wall got higher, we had to start using scaffolding. Fiona made a fine scaffolding constructor. I don't think we could have completed all this work without the daily help of little Josue Jr., the construction boss's son. At the end of each workday, the girls were waiting to walk Fiona and me to the bus, holding our hands all the way. And when we entered the bus, they'd wave goodbye and wait there until the bus door closed. Not all of the volunteers worked on laying block for the new building. Some of them worked on setting up this school's first computer lab. One of the volunteers was a dentist. He and a few others put on a dental clinic, and they ended up pulling 72 teeth. Several volunteers put on a vision clinic. They had a portable eye exam kit that included a variety of eyeglass frames and lenses that could be put together on the spot. One night, in a volunteer group meeting, a person working in the eye clinic told us of a girl that was getting her exam that day. She could only read the top line of the eye chart, the line with the big letters. Then they put some fake lenses in front of her eyes and asked her to try and read the chart again. Miraculously, she read every line. Obviously, this girl just wanted to have some eyeglasses. Later, we discovered that girl was our good friend Jacqueline. Here she is wearing her cool pink and fake eyeglasses. One day, Fiona and a few other volunteers went shopping in town to get some of the girls a few things. Fiona noticed Jacqueline, Virginia, and Veronica were in need of some new shoes, so that's what she got. Before leaving, she asked the girls if they wanted anything in particular. Jacqueline said she'd like a brush, which was a little peculiar since she doesn't have much hair. When asked what she wanted a brush for, she said, "To wash my clothes." Of all the enjoyable things Jacqueline could have asked for, she instead chose a brush to wash her clothes. No washers and dryers at this place. On the 4th of July, we knocked off work early in order to get ready for some celebration. Look at this incredible cake they made for us at the hotel. This day is extra special for Fiona because it's also her birthday. The hotel staff got wind of that and surprised her with a little something special.
We are looking for Fiona. We are looking for Fiona. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Fiona. 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 Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Fiona. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Fiona. Happy birthday to you. How old are you now?
Later, we returned to the rescue center to join the girls for some music, dance, and fireworks. We all gathered outside in a big circle to get ready for sparklers and fireworks. Then they turned out the lights.
Wow!
I don't think those girls had ever seen fireworks before. Virginia got so scared she ran for cover into one of the buildings. We finally finished laying block on the 6th day around noon. Then we spent a short time with the girls before heading back to the hotel to get cleaned up and return for a building dedication ceremony. By this time, Fiona and I had come to know quite a few of the girls that lived there. This picture was taken right after our last day of work, and it's my favorite of all, even though my hair was pretty messed up. It often chokes me up when I see this picture and think about what those girls have gone through, but are still happy and eager for human connection. I wish I could have stretched my arms around all of them at once. At the building dedication ceremony, we took a group picture in front of the building and listened to a few speakers. Jacqueline and Virginia gave us these gifts of traditional Maasai cloaks called shuka and some wood-carved hippopotamuses. Then I had the honor of being one of 2 people to do the ribbon cutting. As we were saying our last goodbyes, Virginia asked me if I would remember her. I told her, I promise I will always remember you. Making this video is my way of keeping that promise. After all of our activities at the rescue center were done, I was asked to speak to our volunteer group about what got me on this mission trip and what I thought about it now. Fiona secretly recorded the last part of my little speech, and so I'll end with that. You may have to turn up your volume to hear it better.
So here we are, and it's been such a great experience, so much more than I expected. Coming together with all you like-minded people and doing what we did. I can't believe we did so much work, and we're not even experts. I was trying to get the size. I was counting the sections of the building today to get an estimate on how big it is, and I come up with about 140 feet long. Is that about right?
Yeah, I think it's 120.
120. But I just really can't believe just simple people like you and I came together and did this. It's really gratifying to see so many people come together and do something so good. And I especially liked, it hit me so hard to see all of those young kids the first day we're there, and how well we've known to come to know them in just a few days. I mean, I can't even believe it. I saw, 2 young girls go up to my wife the first day we were there and just holding her hand, and they just seemed so sweet to her. And I walked over there and I got down low to their level, and they just put their arms around me, and I didn't even know them. And the stories I heard about these young girls, what they have to go through if they stay in their tribe, and they were just putting their arms around me and hugging me, and every day we see the girls, and more come to meet us, and I feel like they're telling their friends, Ron and Fiona are here and they're very nice. Come and meet them. And I've got a picture of one picture with 9 girls around me at the fireworks thing, and I just put my arm around all of them, and Fiona took my picture, and it's going to be one of the pictures I treasure the most.
Yeah.
So that's it.
If you'd like to find out more about Maranatha, go online to www.maranatha.org.